Fans also enjoy expressing themselves personally with one another. So in order to do this, fans must first know each other. One common way that fans have met each other is through various clubs, which are based around comics, science fiction, or fantasy. These clubs have monthly meetings in which they discuss their favorite topics, what they like, what they don't like, what they wish would happen in any of these topics. Also, fans usually develop a small group of friends who they know personally and are very close to.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
We're over 4,000 members strong. We're in the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest science fiction fan club in the world. And we do just about everything. Our biggest selling points are that we have most of our chapters do work with charities. Right now we are, our biggest charity in the region right now is what's known as the Overseas Coupon Program, where we take coupons that you get on your Sunday paper, cut them up, and we send them overseas to our military forces that live, families that live over there. So we help them out. We have a scholarship program where we give money to our members to help with offset college. And we also, the local chapters give money to the local charities. We also get together and some chapters will talk exclusively about Star Trek, some do Stargate, which is one of the hot crazes right now. The chapter I belong to, we have what's known as a bad movie night, where you get the worst films you've ever seen and you sit and you watch them and you talk about them.
And they are that bad.
And basically we get together and have fun.
Cool. So how long has the organization been together?
Well, funny you should ask that question. I just happened to have researched that information the other day because I was coming here. And according to the Wikipedia entry, under Starfleet International, our first chapter was formed in 1975. So we've been around for quite a while. Some of our members have gone on to more famous things. One of our former commanders of Starfleet went on to write the episode called Yesterday's Enterprise, a Next Generation episode, and so we're all over the place. Star Trek fans are worldwide. Former President Bush is even a Star Trek fan.
Well, I am part of the executive council of SciFiHero.net, which is a very large fan-based prop and costuming site. We are worldwide. We have members from Australia, Europe, UK, all through the United States, Canada. We broke off of another site about a year ago, and we're already up to about 1,500, 1,600 members right now, and it's growing quick. I am, like I said, part of the executive council, but my main job is I run the Atlantis team for the site. Our main teams in the United States are broken down over here by region. I am currently attached to SG-20 because I live in Maine. I am active duty Navy. I've been in for 17 and a half years. And Stargate SG-1 was very accurate for me, you know, just from the gear to the costumes to everyday military life. And they showed the serious and the fun side of it, but in a fantasy version. So I'm actually being transferred down to New Orleans, so I've got to re-affiliate with SG-17 here in a couple of weeks. But I got married back in August. I met my wife actually through a friend of mine that was in Sci-Fi Hero, and he introduced us, and we started dating and got married this past August. I have a pretty big role. We're getting ready to start some plans for some other conventions and charity stuff, and we got some pretty neat ideas in the works.
So why do you come to the cons?
One, we come here to promote and advertise to try to make our fan base larger. I enjoy doing it. It's fun. It's a break from the normal everyday wearing the stuff and, you know, serving my country. So it's a fun escape from reality, but yet I'm still familiar with it, so I feel comfortable doing it.
Alright, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
So I'm here at Boston Comic Con, which is a medium-sized comic book convention that happens every 6 months right here in downtown Boston. Right now, I am walking through the dealer's room at Boston Comic Con. Usually, the dealer's room is the hub of a convention. It is a large room made up of booths being rented by various vendors. These vendors bring many different types of collectibles to the show with them. The dealers here have mostly brought old issues of comic books. They have also brought some action figures and other collectibles to sell as well. Most of the fans attending this convention are men. There are, however, some women and children as well. As you can see, some people attend cons in costumes. Typically, cosplay fans enjoy creating their own costumes and wearing them to conventions to get themselves and the crowd into the spirit. Now I am in the artist room. In the artist room, the fans can meet the artists and talk with them. Fans can buy from the artists as well. Artists are usually selling original sketches or drawings. They also sell the original pages of comics. Jim Steranko was present as a guest of honor. Steranko is a comic book artist best known for his work on Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. He also worked on the cover art for the Shadow Book series. Larger comic book conventions usually have writers as guests as well. These larger conventions usually include a room for the fans to attend lectures and question and answer panels given by the artists and writers.
Wow.
In my quest to find interviews with fans, I also visited a Star Trek convention and a general science fiction convention. There are many differences between comic book conventions and science fiction conventions, so let's take a look at a science fiction convention. This footage comes from the United Fan Con in Springfield, Massachusetts. This is a science fiction-based convention. This convention is run by fans as opposed to a convention that is much larger and being run by a company. Conventions that are run by fans are usually smaller and more intimate. There are only hundreds of people at these conventions instead of thousands. Many actors attend this convention as guests. This is an autograph room. Each actor attending the convention has a designated table with pictures and other merchandise for autographing. Each actor also does at least one photo op over the course of the weekend. There is a designated room for photo ops where any fan can purchase a photo with one of the actors. Here is a lecture room in which the actors give presentations. A core part of any convention is attending one of these talks. The actors may talk in groups, or each person might give their own lecture. The actors usually talk about shows they have worked on in the past or are currently working on. Then they open the floor to fans to ask questions. Another important part of any convention is the costume contest. These are just for fun and there is not really any competition. Almost anyone who participates receives an award in one category or another.
And this year we're giving the Measure of Success Award, which is a love for the...
In some costume contests, a group of fans who belong to a club enter and then reenact scenes from one of their favorite TV shows.
He's behind us! What? There he is!
Okay, I guess the good guys won.
We've looked at many important aspects of fandom in the last half an hour. First, we began by looking at what is fandom itself. This helped to set the tone and basis for the film, along with my introduction. Fandom is a community of people who enjoy something and then express their joy in a way that feels proper to them. Then we journeyed back to the 1930s to examine the history of fandom. Fandom has certainly changed in the last 80 years, and it has become far more diverse a topic than it was. Next, we looked at what inspires fans. This information was gathered through personal interviews, and each person seemed to have a personal reason for journeying into fandom. After this, we asked the question, who are the fans? In order to do this, we spoke to many different fans. This showed that not all fans fit the stereotype that has been set for them. Finally, we looked at how fans express themselves, and clearly, fans have many ways they express themselves. The forms we mainly examined were podcasting, visiting websites, joining clubs, and visiting conventions. Fans of science fiction, fantasy, and comic books are very complex and interesting people if you just take the time to get to know them.